Hey, it's Clay. Welcome to another League of Legends video, and specifically one that is on Summoner's Rift, as the video has so kindly welcomed us to. But I want to talk about Elise Jungle. I've already done a why buy on Elise. You can go check that out if you want. If I can remember, I will put a link down in the comment section below. And if I don't, remind me with a comment down in the comment section below. Actually, I'll put my link in the description, not in the comment section. The description of the video is where the link will be. But Elise is, I would say that Elise Jungle has become the primary home for Elise, especially if you watch LCS. Over the course of the playoffs and the World Championships, Elise Jungle was very powerful and popular, and rightfully so. I think Elise is, I think that she kind of went through a top lane phase. She also has done some mid lane. She also went through a bit of a support phase, which is actually still a role I still like her in. It's more of a kill lane setup with a little bit of peel and single target CC, but her kit is just so flexible and versatile that it allows her to fit into so many different situations, and specifically in the jungle, she can just do so many different things. Oh, I accidentally backed up there. She can do so many different things and do them all very well. Her dual nature form allows her to be very flexible and clear the jungle very quickly because she has twice the abilities. She actually has 4 damaging abilities as opposed to the standard 3 she's got. Look at how much, I barely took any damage from that blue buff, even though I did get a good leash, but she has great sustain as well, with her, and she just has a lot going for her, and her percent damage as well helps her to clear jungle camps very well. It gives her powerful objective control. She just has a lot of things going for her. She's got good ganking. There's a nice snare. WQ, going to switch into spider form. There's the flash. That's all I really wanted. Didn't necessarily feel like I needed to get the kill, but looks like word comes straight away. There's a nice snare right there, and getting quite a bit of damage. Nice job by Rise. Very nice. Able to pick himself up a sweet little blue buff and first blood from that Warwick, who just overextended too far, and our damage was too much for him to handle. But let's talk about Jungle Elise. So Jungle Elise, this is something that I've been playing a bit more frequently recently. I would say Jungle is the role, I've said this before, but at the beginning of Season 3 and towards the beginning, this was my weakest role, was in the jungle. I just didn't really feel like I had an understanding of it. But because I feel like to be successful and powerful in the jungle, you really need to understand the game more than any other lane. In mid lane or in bot lane, you pretty much just, I mean, you need to know matchups, but it's more about farming, it's more about, you know, those kinds of things, rather, where it's jungle, you need to know everything. You need to know all the lane matchups. You need to know all the strategies. You need to know buffs. You need to know, gank paths. You need to know, there's just so many different things and game knowledge that comes into that you need to be aware of if you want to do your best and be a successful jungler. So anyways, let's talk about Elise. Let's talk about the setup. So for Runes and Masteries, accidentally was using my Tryndamere Runes and Masteries for this game, which was quite silly because that is not good for Elise at all. But ideally, I would run Move Speed Quints, Armor Yellows, Magic Resist Blues, and and Magic Penetration Marks. There's a nice kill right there. Gonna go a little bit ham. Looks like Vayne is gonna go in. Is she going to get that? She's going to flash for it and pick up that kill with the proc from her Silver Bolt. So nice job. Nice double kill right there. That was just a good old-fashioned lane gank. Used my repel to close the gap. And focusing Taric a little bit right there at the beginning. But a nice overall lane gank. Able to pick up a kill. So far I've done my part in helping mid lane and bot lane to get ahead very nicely. So, but anyways, I totally lost my train of thought on what I was talking about. Oh yeah, setup. Runes and Mastery. So move speed, Quints, Magic Penetration Marks, Armor Yellows, Magic Resist Blues. That's kind of my favorite setup for Elise. She doesn't really benefit that heavily from AP. It's more from Magic Pen. Magic Pen is very, very core on Elise. I tend to get Magic Pen and then go tanky. So for Masteries, I would like to go 9-21-0. 9 in the offense tree, you get cooldown reduction, you get AP per level, and you get that Magic Pen, like I said, which is so crucial. And then the defense tree is really good for Elise. She is not a natural tank, but she can be built very tanky and still deal high damage, which is, I think, one of the reasons why Elise is so powerful, especially in the LCS. Junglers don't really get that much gold, and so, you really need to be on in playing a champion like this that can still deal very, very high damage and yet build tanky is very useful. Because you're not going to get a ton of gold in the jungle. You want to spend your time helping out your laners. And so, being able to be powerful and deal a lot of damage while being tanky is very useful. So that's kind of my preference. So in terms of build, I go for Spirit of the Ancient Golem. I'll go for Sork Boots. I'll go for Haunting Guys, and then even like a Sunfire Cape. That would kind of be like my core right there. And even if I still need healing, if I'm against heavy AP team, Spirit Visage is very nice. She can definitely make use of all of those stats. CDR is really good on her. She can be built in a lot of different ways. But I would say that the core would be Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Sork Shoes, and Haunting Guys. That's your core. Give you the Magic Pen, give you the tankiness. And then from there, I would just go situational tanky. In this game, I went Sunfire. Like I said, you could also go Spirit Visage. You could do Randuins. You could do maybe even like a Warmogs. A lot of different choices for sure. Zonias even wouldn't be a bad option if you really wanted to deal a little more damage, but get in the middle and have that stasis effect. Would be very nice. So that's kind of the setup. Now, in terms of how to play Elise, she can farm the jungle very effectively. I would recommend starting with your W. Give you that spider leg to give you that AoE damage, and then the attack speed and the heal, specifically on the W, is the best part. You really, really, really want to get that going. Give you the sustain, give you the clear speed, because early jungling is pretty much all about auto attacks, clearing with auto attacks, and so you really want to kind of amplify that as best as you possibly can. It does look like they spotted me, and so I don't necessarily think this is going to go well. Although it looks like Taric is going to go ham, and I'm just going to come right in here, totally whiff on my cocoon. But it looks like my spiderlings are going to tank a couple of turret shots, going to repel away to drop turret aggro, and it looks like we are going to pick up that kill on a Taric. Unfortunately, Sona picked up the kill. I probably should have just gone for it, but a bit of a lapse of judgment. I wanted to drop tower aggro, and I was kind of thinking Vayne would pick it up, but she did not. There's a nice cocoon, QW. So anyways, let's kind of talk a little bit more about what makes Jungle Elise good. So one of the things is that she does percentage health damage. And percentage health damage is particularly effective against high HP monsters. So against your buffs and your dragon and your baron, you're going to do a lot of damage to them. Looks like Warwick flash ulted for that Vayne kill. Good job by him. You're going to do a truckload of damage to them. Very, very quickly with your Q in both your spider and human form. And so it gives her very strong objective control, it gives her very high damage during ganks, and it gives her very quick buff clearing, which is all three very, very powerful things. If you look at somebody like Jungle Nasus, one of the reasons why he's so strong is because he has such good objective control. He is able to really melt down because he's got percentage health on his ultimate. He's got very high damage on his Q. But here we're going in for a nice little gank. There's the nice cocoon, and I am not too scared to go in on this. There's a nice kill by Ryze, and I'm going to drop turret aggro with my repel. Elise is very good at tower diving. So you've got the percentage health damage on your Q. You've got good sustain from your W and your spider form, which heals you. And you've got very, very good utility with your E in both your spider and human form. The repel is a very powerful tool. You can use it to gap close like I did on that very first lane gank in the bot lane. I just ran up through lane. I used my E to gap close on a Taric. You can use the stun, on the cocoon is your primary ganking ability. And so you just have a ton of utility. Having a hard CC is so valuable on a jungler, and Elise is no exception. So you really have all the tools that a jungler could want. You've got good utility, you've got CC, you've got gap close, you've got high damage, you've got good objective control, you can build tanky and still deal damage. She's just got a lot of things going for her that a jungler could want. And what she makes up for, her main weakness is that, being a form shifter, is that she doesn't really have this big power spiking level 6 ultimate. As I do actually get Warwick ulted here, I'm just going to flash away and get out of here. But you don't have that big game-breaking level 6 ultimate. Think about a champion like Darius. He gets the big dunk at level 6. Or, level 6s do all sorts of different things. But that's kind of the thing against Elise, is that her level 6 doesn't really do that much for her, but she makes up for that with just the raw utility and flexibility that her kit offers her overall, having 6 basic abilities. She's got 4 damaging abilities. She's got percent HP, both current and execution style. She's got a ton of utility. I mean, she just has a lot of things going for her overall that make her very powerful. And so in this game, I really tried to make use of my, her ability to adapt to different situations. I think is one of the best things about her, is that she can really find herself at home in a variety of different, playstyle situations. Ganking, farming, objective control. She can really do it all. Getting a lot of damage down onto this Galio, that mid lane Galio. Getting definitely beaten by Ryze with definitely some help from my first gank, I think. And Ryze is going up top, so I'm just going to take this lane farm, no problem. And compared to other junglers, Elise isn't as, she doesn't have the natural tankiness as some of the other popular jungle picks. Perhaps like a who are the best tanks? Like an Amumu, maybe like a Nautilus, Sejuani, Cho'Gath, some of these other champions that have a lot of natural tankiness going for them, whether it's through a shield or through free HP. Nasus, another good example, free HP or free resistances. She doesn't have the natural tankiness. She doesn't really have any sort of defensive steroid. But like I said, she makes up for that with utility. That's really the thing that Elise does better than almost any other jungler, is that she can adapt to any situation, and she can fit almost any playstyle. Her versatility is really what's going for her, and I think that's one of the reasons why, if you look at some of the junglers that have been very popular in the LCS, we're talking specifically about Elise and Lee Sin. They are junglers who have a plethora of skills and abilities. They've got they can really adapt to any situation. They're very strong early on. Elise is a very strong duelist. If you want to play the counter in jungle game, you can definitely do that. Elise is very scary. And actually, Elise is probably one of the best counters to counter junglers. She's very strong. She's got the percent HP to clear those buffs, during those steals. And she's got the CC, she's got the damage to really do a lot of work. Missed on my cocoon right there, but I'm going to get double kill right there. Thank you very much. Fortunately, Teemo, my friend, is going to get master dunked by the Darius, and I'm just going to get away because he could probably dunk me. But then here comes Vayne, and now I'm not so scared, and now we're going to go in and get the kill. So very nice right there. Able to pick up that kill. And so yeah, by this point, the game has started to snowball, and I would say on Elise, this is one of the best things that she has going for her. Is that her early ganking is very powerful. Her early game in general is very powerful, and it allows her to really wreck the map. And and you can see, if you looked at my first 2 ganks, it really set the tone for this game. Ryze is 30 CS ahead, 4 kills ahead. Vayne is 5 kills ahead, 20 CS ahead. And then in the top lane, Teemo counterpicked into Darius. So he really, it's Teemo against Darius. What is Darius going to do? He's down 50 CS, almost 70 CS to Teemo with his OP Hurricane build. I actually didn't really hate the, more of an on-hit build from Teemo. It's actually not a terrible choice. So anyways, this game it's pretty much not close anymore. And I don't really know if I'm going to finish it. Just because I think that the biggest thing about Elise is her early game. Her early game is definitely where she shines. Her damage kind of falls off late game because at a certain point, if the enemy team is stacking Magic Resist, there's really not a lot that can be done. And so that it is what it is. There's just you realize that your damage is gonna fall off late, but. In terms of a jungler, I would say that having a very powerful early game and the ability to get the snowball going early on is very, very useful in solo queue. Compared to some other junglers who are very weak early on that want to get to that team fighting phase, well, sometimes you have games where you never even make it to that team fighting phase, so what good is the strength of your champion? Whereas Elise, you're always going to have an early game, you're always going to have early ganks, you're always going to have early clearing, and that's where her kit really shines. So, in my opinion, that's what makes her so strong. Is she can really do a lot of work in these types of early game situations. So at this point, I'm just kind of trying to roam the map. I've got sitting on a lot of gold. I got a Sunfire Cape and this Ancient Golem, which are two very, very strong and powerful options. Now I'm going to probably go for more Magic Pen. There's my Sork Shoes, and going to get the Amp Tome towards my Haunting Guys. And it looks like I've got a little bit of a fight going on here. They're going super ham. Going to go ahead and do work on Darius, and we're going to get that kill. Now Rise is going super ham. Can I get the Cocoon? No, the Cocoon narrowly missed. Gonna throw out my W to face check the brush. Q, switch to Spider Form Q onto that, and finish her off. Again, Elise's damage is very high, and I have not hardly built any damage items other than the Sork Shoes and the Amp Tome. But compared to the tankiness I have, I'm dealing very, very high damage. You can see I'm up to 10 assists. That's quite high for a jungler. 10 out of my 23 kills for our team I have participated in. And that's really where I want to be. I want to be, present on the map. I want to getting a lot of assists, have my hand in a lot of kills, and just starting to really snowball this team out of control. It looks like Warg wants to party, but that's okay. I got a Cocoon for you and a lot of percentage health damage, and we're going to get that kill no problemo. And so yeah, we're just sieging. This game is pretty much over. I probably am just going to cut it off here, because we didn't really derp. But we didn't really try to end the game too quickly, just because it was kind of slow moving from this point on. I think we even had a couple of derps. But overall, with Vayne and Rise and getting them so farmed so quickly, this game was really, really over from the early on. So anyways, that's kind of Jungle Elise. She's very powerful, very strong. If you're playing jungler, if you like to play jungle and you are looking for a champion that I would say that she has a couple things going for her that make her unique. She's got high damage while being tanky, and she's very versatile with a very powerful early game. That's kind of, I think, what really sets her apart. So if you're looking for a champion that can excel with those types of things, give Elise a shot. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want more. Jungle Elise is very good, and I definitely will be continuing to play her in solo queue because I think she's very strong. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.